Impermanence, the gentle truth of life. Today, we will spend a peaceful amount of time together, exploring one of the deepest and most transformative teachings in Buddhism, impermanence. This is not just a philosophical idea, not just a word we have heard somewhere in a book or a lecture. Impermanence is the reality that flows through every breath, every moment, every joy, and every sorrow of our life. Everything in this universe, whether we realize it or not, is constantly changing. Yet most of our suffering comes from the simple fact that we do not want things to change. We want what is pleasant to stay forever. We want what we love to remain exactly as it is. And we want what is painful to disappear instantly. But life does not move according to our wishes. It moves according to its nature. And its nature is impermanence means nothing stays the same. A flower blooms beautifully, but then it fades. The sunlight shining through the window right now will soon shift and disappear. Our body, no matter how strong or healthy, will gradually age. Our emotions, even the most intense ones, will come and go like waves on the shore. And the people around us, those we love, those we struggle with, those who accompany us, will also change in ways small and large. When we contemplate deeply, we see that impermanence is not an enemy. It is simply the rhythm of existence. If everything were permanent, nothing would grow, nothing would heal, nothing would move. A broken heart would stay broken forever. A moment of suffering would last eternally. A mistake we made would trap us for life. Thankfully, nothing is like that. Because everything changes. We can heal, we can learn, we can rise again, and the world can renew itself continuously. But although impermanence is natural and undeniable, accepting it is not always easy. Our mind tends to cling to people, to emotions, to moments, to identities we construct for ourselves. We cling to the idea of who we are, who others should be, what life should look like. And the tighter we cling, the more painful the changes feel. Let us begin by looking gently at our own body, the closest example of impermanence. Every breath we take is different from the one before it. Every second, millions of cells are born and millions die. Our appearance shifts year by year, even day by day. We get stronger and weaker, energized and tired, healed and hurt. The body is never the same, even for a moment. Yet, we often blame the body for being imperfect. We get frustrated when it changes, when it aches, when it grows older. But this is precisely its nature. Like a river that flows, the body is a continuous movement, never a fixed shape. To understand this is to stop fighting the natural flow of life inside us. And then there is the mind, delicate, complex, unpredictable. One moment the mind can be full of lightness and joy, and the next moment, a single thought can bring clouds of worry. One memory can lift us, another can sink us. Emotions rise and fall like waves on an endless ocean. Sometimes we feel confident and capable. Other times we feel inadequate or lost. None of these states are fixed truths. They are simply passing mental weather. But when we forget impermanence, we take these temporary emotions too seriously. A passing sadness becomes I am a sad person. A moment of anger becomes I am an angry person. But if we wait, breathe, and observe, each emotion will eventually dissolve. It cannot stay. Understanding this helps us soften the tight grip we have on our feelings. We learn to be present with them without being swallowed by them. We learn that just because something feels overwhelming right now does not mean it will feel overwhelming forever. Everything passes, everything transforms. Impermanence also plays a profound role in our relationships. People enter our lives for different reasons, at different times, and no connection remains exactly the same. Some people stay for years. Some only accompany us for a short while. Some relationships grow deeper. Others naturally drift apart. Often, we suffer not because a relationship changes, but because we expect it to stay the same forever. We expect others to remain who they once were, even though we ourselves are constantly evolving. We expect love to always feel like the first days, but love, too, transforms. It softens, deepens, matures, and sometimes it fades. This is not a failure. It is impermanence, fulfilling its nature. When we understand this, we begin to appreciate the presence of others more deeply. We stop taking moments for granted. A simple conversation, a warm hug, a shared meal. These become precious because we know they will not last forever. And because they will not last, we learn to be here for them fully. Impermanence teaches us to say thank you more often, to forgive sooner, to love without demanding, and to release without bitterness when conditions change. Sometimes, impermanence enters our life in painful ways. A loss we didn't expect, a goodbye we weren't ready for, a sudden shift that breaks our sense of stability. In those moments, impermanence feels harsh. It feels like life is taking something away from us. And yet, with time, we often look back and see that those changes shaped us, strengthened us, opened new paths for us. It is not that suffering is necessary, but understanding impermanence helps us move through suffering with more clarity and less resistance. Impermanence also carries a beautiful message. Nothing is too late. Nothing is fixed. We can always start again. No matter how many mistakes we've made, they do not define us. No matter how many times we've fallen, we can stand up again. No matter how dark a moment may feel, light will return, because nothing, absolutely nothing, stays the same. Impermanence is not meant to make us pessimistic. It is meant to wake us up, to help us live fully, to remind us that every breath is a gift, every moment is unique, every experience is fleeting and therefore precious. Impermanence encourages us to slow down, to feel the breeze on our skin, to notice the colors of the evening sky, to listen deeply when someone speaks, to hold the hand of someone we love without distraction, to appreciate the quiet moments that pass unnoticed when we rush through life. The more we embrace impermanence, the more we awaken to the miracle of ordinary moments. Impermanence also teaches us humility. We realize that we cannot control everything. We cannot force life to follow our plans. And because we cannot control life, we learn to trust it. We learn to flow with its rhythms instead of exhausting ourselves trying to stop them. We learn to become more flexible, more open, more accepting. Imagine a tree during a storm. A rigid tree snaps. A flexible tree bends with the wind and survives. Impermanence is the wind of life. The more we can bend, the more peaceful we become. With impermanence in our heart, forgiveness becomes easier. We no longer hold grudges as tightly because we know people change. We know emotions change. We know circumstances change. The anger we feel today may disappear tomorrow. The person who hurt us may one day be different, and we ourselves are always transforming. Impermanence brings compassion for others and for ourselves. We stop expecting perfection. We stop expecting eternal consistency. We begin to understand that everyone is doing their best within their temporary limitations, temporary emotions, temporary fears. And because everything is temporary, we can let go more easily. Letting go does not mean giving up. It means making space. Space for what is real, what is alive, what is here, right now. Letting go means releasing the suffering that comes from clinging to something that is already changing. Letting go is not a loss, it is a freedom. When we sit quietly and breathe deeply, we can feel impermanence in the rise and fall of the breath. Each inhale is unique, each exhale is a letting go. Breathing mindfully is the simplest way to understand impermanence at a personal, intimate level. As we breathe, we learn to accept. As we breathe, we learn to relax into the truth of life. As we breathe, we discover that we can face anything as long as we stay present and open. Impermanence is the truth that allows us to live without fear of change. Fear comes from wanting to hold on. Peace comes from learning to let things flow. When we stop fighting impermanence, life becomes a gentle teacher instead of a harsh one. Impermanence also reminds us that we do not own anything, not our possessions, not the people in our life, not even our body or our identity. Everything is on loan. Everything is entrusted to us for a time, and then it moves on. This realization does not cause sadness, it causes gratitude. A deep gratitude for everything that passes through our life, everything that teaches us, everything that stays long enough to leave a mark. When we truly understand impermanence, we stop living in someday. We stop postponing. We start living now. We say, "I love you" when we feel it. We apologize when needed. We make time for what matters. We let go of what doesn't. We appreciate what we have instead of longing for what we do not. We live intentionally because we know life is not guaranteed to stay the same. Impermanence is not meant to frighten us. It is meant to free us, to open our hearts, to soften our expectations, to help us live authentically. Life becomes a beautiful, flowing river, not a heavy burden to carry. And in this river of change, there is always something stable. Our awareness, our presence, our ability to love. Everything outside changes, but love, compassion, and understanding can continue to grow inside us. That is our anchor in a world of impermanence. May you walk through this life with gentle eyes. May you breathe with peace, even in the middle of uncertainty. May you embrace every moment of this fleeting world. And may impermanence guide you to a deeper, calmer, more awakened way of living. Thank you for being here in this moment, in this breath, in this ever-changing life.